Hello everyone and welcome back to Tech Horizon. My name is Dave and today I'm going to show you how to set up your Pi headlessly. Setting up your Pi headlessly basically means setting up your Pi without a mouse, keyboard or screen output. I'm also going to show you how you can access your Pi from your main computer over network via SSH. And towards the end of the video I'm also going to show you a little trick that makes the SSH login process so much easier. And by the way, if you're enjoying the content that I create on this channel, it would definitely make my day if you left a sub. And now let's get started. First of all, you're going to have to download the RPI imager by clicking on the link in the description below, which will redirect you to the Pi Foundation's website. Here click on software and select whatever operating system you want to install the imager on. Next, you're also going to have to download the Angry IP scanner to find out your Pi's IP address by clicking on the second link. Here click on download and select the version for whatever operating system you're using. I want to install it on Windows 10, so I'm going to select the installer for Windows. Last but not least, you're also going to have to download an SSH client to access your Pi from your main PC via network. I recommend using PuTTY. After having downloaded everything, you're going to have to customize and flash your desired OS to your Pi by installing the imager. Then select whatever OS you want to flash to your microSD card. The RPI imager already has quite a few options to choose from, like Ubuntu, Manjaro, RetroPie, Recalbox, and so on. In case you want to flash a different OS, you can select Use Custom and locate your custom ISO file. I'm going to select the standard Raspberry Pi OS for my Pi 4. After that, select the microSD card you want to flash your image to. Personally, I'm going to use the 64GB one. And now comes the interesting part. The updated version of the RPI imager has advanced options that you can access by pressing Ctrl+Shift+X on your keyboard. Here you'll be able to disable overscan, which you won't need for a headless setup, set a custom host name, I'm naming mine Dave Pi, and enable SSH, which allows you to access your Pi remotely from another PC without needing a screen, which is exactly what you need for a headless setup. For security reasons, you're also going to have to set a password. For SSH to even work, you're going to have to configure your Wi-Fi as well. You can do so by entering the SSID and password of your network, and selecting the country that your Wi-Fi network is located in. Mine is located in Germany, so I'm going to type DE. If you're unsure about your country code, you can check out the Wikipedia page I linked below. Last but not least, you're also going to have the option to set your time zone. Mine is Berlin, and keyboard layout, which you definitely won't need for a headless setup. Once you've done all of that, hit save and click on write. As soon as it's done flashing, plug your microSD card out of your PC into your Pi and power it on. After a while, your Pi should have booted up and should be connected to your Wi-Fi. Now we've got to find out the Pi's IP address. To do so, install the Angry IP scanner from the .exe file we downloaded earlier. Then press start. Once it's done scanning, search for a host name containing signal words like Raspberry Pi or the name of the OS you installed. If you're having trouble finding it, you can run a scan before your Pi is connected to your network, copy the list, and then run one after it's connected to your network. After that, simply compare the two scans to find your Pi's IP address. As you can see, my Pi's host name is Dave Pi. After that, open up PuTTY and enter your Pi's IP address. Make sure SSH is selected and hit open. Then simply log in. As you can see, I'm now accessing my Pi's terminal over network and I can do everything that I would usually do. Of course, minus the desktop interface. That's where you need to use VNC. Like I said in the beginning, there's a simpler way to connect to your Pi using SSH, and that's what I'm quickly going to show you. First of all, right click PuTTY, then head to Properties, Shortcut, and here add the following command into the target section. Now replace IP with your Pi's IP, username with your Pi's username, and password with the password you created earlier. Then hit apply and OK. Now all you've got to do is click on the shortcut and it will automatically establish a connection to your Pi and log you in. Additionally, I recommend making your Pi's IP address persistent. There are two ways of doing that. You can either make your Pi have a static IP address, which isn't my preferred way of doing it because it's completely tied to your Pi's operating system and because it can cause IP address conflicts. Nevertheless, I'll still link a detailed guide on how exactly to do this below. The other method is using a sticky DHCP address on your router, which basically gives your Pi the same address over and over again, as long as the MAC address stays the same, which it always does. This method varies from router to router, so I won't be able to show you how to do it. But apart from that, that'll be it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video and I was able to help you out. If you found this video helpful, make sure to leave a like. And if you want to see straight to the point tech related content just like this in the future, please consider subscribing. See you in the next one.